Hello and howdy. I'm Mushmallow from Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting, and you are, well, you're you. Hello, you. Welcome, and today we are going to be doing a WIP and chat. As you can see here, this is my progress on Grotesque Cookie Monster 3.0. Wanted you guys to see how far we are. We're going to be finishing up this section here and moving on into this one, and I'll pop a little doodad picture on the screen for you so you can see what the inspiration art looks like. You can see what's behind the paper and stuff and what's ahead in my little diamond painting journey. But this is where we're at so far. And this is where we're going to be working at. Let's get mounted up and chit chat about what's been going on this past week or so. Oh boy, here we go. All right, let's dive in. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday week, and particularly the turkey time. Black Friday happened yesterday, so I hope nobody went bankrupt, but I hope everybody got what they wanted from the Black Friday sales. I did see a lot of people posting in a lot of places. Anybody Black Friday shopping? What'd you get? Where are the sales? Blah, 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 blah. Wanting to know all the stuff and things. Unfortunately, I just have been very preoccupied, and we'll talk about why, like what's been going on over here. However, I did get to sneak in a little Black Friday shopping, not as much as I would like, but a little bit. So I did get myself some stuff and some things, and I'll give you a hint. I did buy some canvases on a deal sale shoppy thing from a small shop who is on a from the diamond painting community at large's perspective, is on a redemption journey. And I wanted to check that out and help lend my support by exposing myself. And whoa, you know what I mean. Let me speed that up, my cadence a little bit, so that it doesn't sound like it just sounded. I wanted to help that small shop out a little bit by exposing myself and others to this shop on my channel when the stuff comes in. And hopefully they are, from some of the comments and posts I've seen on this small shop's Facebook group, and word on the street is that things have greatly improved from the historical texts of this shop. It's under new ownership, and it seems to be getting itself on the right track. And I wanted to check it out and let you guys know what my experience is like. Are we safe to shop at this shop? And no, I'm not telling you what the shop is yet, but some of you might be able to guess it just by what I'm saying. But if you can't, you'll see it when it gets here, so calm down. I wanted to do my part to inform you guys, because I know that the shop in particular, there were some people excited about it, some people that were fans of some of the artists there, but not necessarily the customer service. There were some issues with people even receiving orders and stuff at one time. So the shop was kind of going down a dark path, but it is now, like I said, under new ownership and attempting to redeem itself in the community via good customer service and actually functioning properly by providing the things that people order without excuse. So with that being said, I did get that. I also did take advantage of a non-diamond painting related Black Friday sale, but it will show up in January, pink and black, as some prizes, and also will show up maybe sooner than that, but definitely by January as jewelry on my person. Particularly, specifically, something of this nature. Am I in shot? Yeah. So, yep. And we'll talk about that when that time is right. And then we'll just throw our pen in our tray because, like, why not? Right? That's what we do around here. Just decide to let go of the pen. Love medical stuff. So yeah, I did get to take advantage of that a little bit. I did, post a Black Friday sale of mine own that's going on throughout the course of the weekend at my flea market stall. For those of you who do not know, Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting has opened a flea market stall in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I do not live in Jonesboro, technically. I live pretty far away from Jonesboro, if I'm being honest. But there was a new flea market opening up, and they had lots of room, perfect for my intents and purposes. I did open a flea market stall at the beginning of the month is when the flea market opened up, and the fact of the matter is that you can, and I've talked about this recently before, but you can only gift and donate so many diamond painting canvases to so many places before they tell you to stop in the course of years. And I've been diamond painting for 6 years, is it now? And you start running out of wall space in your own home. People that you know and love and that you've been gifting start running out of wall space. The places that you donate, whether it's churches or professional offices or shelters and things like that, they stop running out of wall space for all the canvases that you finish that you want to give to them. And people start running out of wall space and saying, thank you, I appreciate it, but no thank you, we're out of space. And then your pile of finished diamond paintings live unloved, unseen, in little portfolios or storage boxes or whatever under your bed or in your closet or whatever. And this stuff, should be seen. It's meant to be seen. It's beautiful. It's fun. It's whatever. So yeah, I was after 6 years of diamond painting, I was kind of at that point. And so I decided with Sundown and Leah, we all kind of decided that we were going to go ahead and take advantage of this new flea market opportunity opening up and rent us a little stall, build us a little stall within that flea market, and frame. We bought frames for everything, frame up all our stuff. Leah had some crochet stuff that's been very popular, selling very well over there. Some of the coasters I do, I can only use so many coaster sets, and you can only gift so many coaster sets. Like, how many coaster sets does one house need? So some of the coasters that I've done and stuff, I often send some out in creep mail, and believe me, there's plenty to go around and stuff, but why not? Why not? So it's been going well. That's been going well, but I wanted to participate in Black Friday sales. So went over to the flea market and went ahead and posted up some signage and whatnot. And so throughout the course of this weekend, my stall is going to be 40% off all canvases. I think that sounds Black Friday-y. So there's that. But let's see it's been a minute since I've been here with you guys. It's been a hot minute because just so much has been going on. So as you may know or may not, hi, Either I'm repeating or I'm knowledge bombing you. Either way, here we go. Sorry, I had to pause there for a minute. But anyway, what I was saying was, for those who didn't know, or as a reminder to those who did, I have been ill to some degree in one way or another, going on a month now. I am hanging on by a thread and have been hanging on by a thread for about a month. Not feeling good. So I was really at, I think, the worst this month toward the beginning and middle of it. And as soon as I started feeling better, I think it was around the 18th, we had a medical trip up to St. Louis. And we did that, and then, so 6-hour drive up to St. Louis, doctor for a couple hours, turned around, 6-hour drive back. And so what little bit of life force I had regained was sucked away by that trip. And I know it sounds silly and stuff, but I don't know if anyone else is like this, but road trips, long drives, long stretches in the car, lack of sleep because of it, because I did not sleep. I got up the day before we left. Well, technically the day we left. I got up early in the morning, and I was up all day, no nap or anything like that. Then we left really late that night or early into the morning the next morning. So I had been up well over, 12, 16 hours, somewhere in there by the time we even left. And I stayed awake the whole time we were there, driving up there and driving back. And so these trips and that usually happens. And these trips end up taking, having me awake for somewhere between 28 and 36 to 40 hours. And that's really terrible for someone like me with certain medical things that I have going on. But I can't help it. I was in I don't know if you call it traumatic, I don't know, a car accident when I was younger, and I have never ever fully been comfortable as a passenger in a car since. And so I don't, unless it's, once in a blue moon, if literally my body gives out, you might find me dozing, but generally speaking, I'm incapable of sleeping in a car as a passenger. Cannot do it. So I'm awake for all that. And so we had this big, exhausting, arduous, life force sucking medical trip, and all that comes with that on the medical side of it, worrying about sundown, trying to absorb information, serious information, and medical tests and doctors' talks and all that stuff, which can be mentally exhausting and stressful. So we had all of that just coming off of me being pretty sick for about 3 weeks. And then, so of course that took it out of me, and I started feeling like crud again. And then what's right after the 18th? Thanksgiving. So that we started having preparations for Thanksgiving, and get the house ready for guests. We did have Stoner down in the future, Mrs. Stoner down, come for a visit and stay. I need to learn my alphabet, apparently. This is the 3rd container I've tried to find the letter E. There we go, found it. And so we were running around getting the house ready. We were running to stores, getting, all the grocery stuff that we needed. And we smoked the turkey, so we had to get that ready, the smoker and stuff all prepped and ready. And that was exhausting and stressful a little bit. And I say stressful, but stress isn't always bad. Weddings are stressful, but they're happy occasions. Birthdays can be stressful, but they're happy occasions. You see what I mean? So when I say that was all stressful, I don't mean it negative. Like, if the kids came and it was stressful. Blah. No, it's just, it was stressful and it was positive stress, I guess, if that's a thing. Positively associated stress, maybe more accurate. But yeah, we were trying to do that. And the whole time, this whole time, all month, where I was really ill, and then we had our trip, and then, we came back and had to get everything ready for the big holiday and kids coming, and we were cooking not only for, our little family here, but extended, the other kids coming in and their significant others, and then the parental units across the way. We were preparing for all of that. And in between, in betwixt, all this happening, we had a scare with Mom down. And I think we talked about it in the live, but if you didn't get to watch it or you forgot or whatever, Mom down had a medical emergency. And I think it was after St. Louis, but before Turkey Day, maybe, yeah, was it? I think so. And maybe we went on the 13th, whatever. Anyway, between St. Louis and Turkey Day, Mom down had a major medical scare. She was found by a internet service provider worker person who was coming to Mom down's old house because, newsflash, Mom down, Dad down bought a new house. It's on the same property, but their old house was up on a hill and their new house is down at the bottom of a hill, so that they don't have to dangerously traverse from top of the hill down to the bottom of the hill to go anywhere or do anything or to get help. It was hard for paramedics to get up there and stuff like that. So bought a new house. It's at the bottom of the hill. Mom down went to the old house at the top of the hill to await the arrival of the internet service person who was going to be there to, I guess, disconnect the internet to the old house and reconnect it to the new house. And for some reason, I guess somebody needed to be there because I think maybe he needed to go inside or something. And we don't know what time she went up and in there. But what we do know is that he did arrive. And when he arrived, he stepped into the open doorway and found Mom down unconscious on the floor of old house. Could not get a response from her. So ran down to new house to the, equally old, frail, and not able to get around Dad down, who could not do anything personally himself due to medical reasons for Mom down. So he called Sundown over here and said, hey, I guess your mom's passed out on the floor up the old house. She was just found by some guy. Can you go? So Sundown went over there, found his mom unconscious and unresponsive on the floor of the old house, got her roused, got her conscious and kind of present, a little bit, I guess, like somewhat enough to be able to kind of help drag her to the little property transportory vehicular device, aka it's like a side-by-side or a golf cart or some kind of it's a little vehicle that they can traverse the property. And by the time he got her down the hill and to new house, she had lost consciousness again, and he basically had to drag her into her new house and couldn't get her any further than just inside the door and on the floor. At which point, she became unresponsive again, and it was time to call 911. So he realized this was a little bit more serious and she just felt faint or whatever. Now that something is happening here. So he called 911. We get the ambulance out there, and by the time the ambulance got all the way out to the end of all of our little dirt roads out here in the sticks where, us hillbillies live, The paramedic, the first one that walked in of the two, the first of the two that walked in, he expressed his thoughts that he thought he was walking in on a unalive person, a deceased elderly person. He walked in, took one look, and she looked like, and it appeared as if from first initial glance inspection, she appeared to no longer be with us. However, once they started getting their machinery and equipment, realized that she did still have some blood pressure. It was 50/40. If anyone's familiar with blood pressure, that's what hers was when the paramedics arrived. It was 50/40, but she had like a weak, thready sort of pulse situation, a very weak, flimsy sort of breathing situation. So whoop, in the ambulance she went, boop, over to the emergency room they went, and she was admitted to the hospital for a couple days till they got her stable. But the second they got her stable, boop, they sent her home. It turned out that the issue was that Mom Down had fell into, we've talked about this before on the channel, but if you, like I said, if you're newer or maybe you hadn't seen that video, we have been struggling with Mom Down. She has a family history. Her parents both, I believe, both of her parents had, in the end of their life, developed dementia. They had dementia. Very confused, not really sure who's who, what's going on. Sometimes they're kind of slipping in time, like thinking they're younger than they are, or older than they are, not recognizing their kids, things like that. Confusion, like mental confusion. And so this is like a thing that's prevalent, was prevalent in both of her parents, and we have taken her to multiple doctor's appointments and expressed our concerns and our evidence, and she's been examined and was on the pre-dementia. She was at the top of the dementia hill. If dementia is downhill, at the bottom, you're in full-blown dementia. She was at the top of the hill, pre-dementia. Not on, hadn't taken that first step downhill yet, but was on the precipice, the cusp. And she was prescribed these, like, basically brain vitamins, but I think it's vitamin B or something. There's some kind of vitamins that were supposed to help, like, stimulate her brain cells and whatever, and try to, and if taken regularly, properly, and, etc., studies have shown that it can prevent, taking that step off the ledge and down the dementia hill. Could stop it in its tracks before it starts. But once it starts, there's no going back. Okay, that was explained to her, and so we got her this prescription, and the psychiatrist, the neuropsychiatrist, was very clear, very animate. You're on the cusp. The only shot that we got to save you is right now with these pills, and you've got to take these meds. Well, I think she claims she was taking them for a little while, but we don't think, because she said she didn't notice a difference from when she takes them and when she doesn't. And it's like, you might not notice the difference, but everybody else does, But it was one of those things where somebody's on a medication, they don't think it's doing anything for them or that they need it anymore, and they stop taking it. And we did not know this. And so she until we started seeing the signs of her behavior, she started getting more and more confused. And we think that is what happened in this instance, from what she's saying and what the course of medical emergency response was and hospital, the hospital stay, what occurred there, and the medications given, etc. What is believed to happen, according to the medical records, is that she got confused and took a pain medication because she has had back surgeries and it causes her a lot of pain. She has a lot of issues with her back, and it's very painful. And she has a prescription for pain medication. And we think that she took that. She also has a prescription for muscle relaxers to help also with the pain and stuff. She took them too close together. She took her pain medication, and we assume or guess what we can gather, what we can infer from what she said and everything. She forgot or didn't realize that not enough time had passed and ended up taking the muscle relaxer and the two together. Tried to take her out. And almost succeeded. If she had not been discovered when she was, if she had been left in the unconscious state that she had been in without medical intervention for even another 30 minutes to an hour, this would be a whole different conversation. Yeah. Mom Down would not be here, likely be here. So it is a good thing that, good fortune that timing and stuff, that the employee was not running behind and that he was on schedule and that he decided to poke his head in the house when she didn't answer the door and see what see her on the floor. She was in a place where she was visible, and that we were able to get medical help out there in time and get her to the hospital in time. So all worked in her favor this time. So we were dealing with that, as well as making arrangements. We have to put our foot down now, and this has also been a bone of contention with Mom Down and Sundown and stuff. She's been fighting us providing or helping her locate and provide help. She's one of those people that wants to live in her home. That's where this is where I'm going to go. I'm not going to a home or anything like that. When my time comes, I'm going to be in my house. So, but she's very, very much not able to independently live. She was super reliant on us, essentially Sundown and us. They are in no condition to be taking care of themselves without help. Finally, this was the push that made her realize it. So we spent some time after all this was going on, interviewing and locating and interviewing home health care situations, nurses that come in and provide home health care services for people, stubborn people like Mom Down and Dad Down, who can't take care of themselves but won't admit that they can't take care of themselves, and the people in their lives like us and the others involved, the other adults involved. We are in no position to take as much care of them as they feel they need. We cannot live for them. We cannot run their every errand. We cannot shop their every shopping trip. We cannot be their chauffeurs for everything, literally every trip. It's come to that point, and we are not capable of that. We all have our own health issues over here, and we're pretty much all they've got. There's a couple other people that are tertiary and helpful when necessary, but for the most part, it falls on us, and we are not ourselves healthy enough and capable enough anymore. Sorry, paused, adjusted my canvas, and frankly used the urination station. I mean, what can I tell you? So in any event, that kind of went off on a tangent there, but that was going on. We were, doing the whole hospital thing and trying to help take care of Dad Down while Mom Down was not home, and trying to arrange home health care, and trying to convince Mom and Dad Down that they needed it, and we just were not physically capable. we have our own property to maintain and our own families, you know, the kids, and I've got my side of the family. My dad has cancer, you know, and stuff, and we like I said, we both have major medical issues. Well, all three of us really in this house, and now, well, all four of us, count the dog. And it just has become overwhelming for us, and we cannot live for them, and you know, we cannot be there like robot vessels. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they need something done, if they can't do it, you know, themselves, we can't always do it for them, and so there is the problem. Anyway, long story long, we were arranging for the medical interviewing and locating and interviewing medical personnel services to see. Oh, it would help if I had a drill. There we go. See what we could do, what our options were, because the one thing that they are steadfast and absolute about, the mom down and the dad down, is they are pretty much refusing to leave their home, even though it's become abundantly clear that it is dangerous-ish. I mean, one could argue that there is a danger in them staying in their home alone. Just those two, even though we're right across the street, because look what happened with us right across the street. We had no idea until, you know, somebody found her and called. So, they're not physically capable of caring for themselves anymore, but they refuse to kind of acknowledge that and give up that autonomy and independence. So we're stuck in a place where it's now fallen on us also to find them a solution that keeps them at home as long as possible, and but can provide them some help and care. So that's kind of where what we were doing after we got back from St. Louis. And then that all happened, and we've been doing that. Then we turn around and we had to celebrate the holiday early, which is fine. Just a day early. We did Thanksgiving on Wednesday instead of Thursday because Stoner Down and the future Mrs. Stoner Down came for a visit, and Leah happened to have Wednesday off but did work Thursday for time and a half. Woohoo, time and a half. So Wednesday worked out perfect, but we had to start prepping the food on Tuesday, and we were cooking mostly sundown, cooking a bunch of things on Tuesday, prepping the smoker and getting it, you know, cleaned up and primed and pelleted and ready and whatever, getting the turkey all, you know, seasoned and zhuzhed up, ready for the smoker. Was up all night. The kids came in Tuesday really late. It was like 10:30 at night when they got here, because Stoner Down had to work all day Wednesday and then make the 3-hour drive here, and they had to make a stop, and they stopped and got something to eat and rested, you know, stretched their legs, whatever. So by the time they got here, it was somewhere between 10:30 and 11. Sundown was already had the turkey out in the smoker. And if you know anything about smoking fat meat, I don't know, it's not fat meat, but it was like a big hunk of bird. It is time consuming. It takes hours and hours. It's kind of like a slow cooker, but smoky and outside. And so he was up all night basting. It needs constant kind of like basting every hour or two or something like that. So he had to stay up and kind of keep an eye on it, make sure that, you know, that it was still smoking, and make sure that he was basting the bird. And I know I'm not going to pretend that I'm a smoking expert. All the things that come with the smoking of the meats, he was out there doing all night long. And of course, I was like, I will stay up with you. And so I was up all night with him. And then the next day, I did the casserole. So Wednesday, our Thanksgiving day for our family, Sundown had mostly made the turkey and his responsibilities. He made homemade, he'll kill me for this, but I don't care, homemade stuffing. I call it stuffing. He calls it dressing. We go back and forth about that. But he's not here, so... Oh, I mean, he's here, but he's not in here with me, so... and this is my video. I'll say what I want. We made smoked turkey. We made homemade stuffing. We made gravy, of course, and mashed potatoes, and he made sweet potato casserole, and I made Kahlua infused sweet potatoes, which were so good. We made corn casserole with French's fried onions and cheese in there. It sounds, the ingredients, like if I were to list them all out, sound disgusting. There's cornbread and creamed corn and a little bit of sour cream and some shredded cheese and French's fried onions, and it sounds like who in their right mind would mix those things together and eat it? We would, and it was delicious. It is really, really good. I guess somebody told me it is the old-fashioned way of making a corn casserole. I did not know that. I just knew that it was a yummy corn casserole recipe that I make every year, and I don't remember where it came from, but it's yummy. So, yeah, we had corn casserole, and then we had, he made corn, I think he made corn, didn't know. Corn casserole. What else do we have? Green bean casserole. I made my grandmother's green bean casserole, which is not just the recipe off the back of the French's fried onion container. There's some few other things added to make it a little more deliciouser and specialer. So I made that. We made homemade ambrosia, which is like a fruit salad and a creamy topping, or creamy, not topping, but creamy base. Not the one that Mom Down tried to sneak in on me. Her ambrosia is, I guess, the old Southern recipe way, where it's made with a base of mayonnaise and fruit instead of Cool Whip or cream and fruit. No, my friends, I did not torture anyone with mayonnaise covered fruit this year. You're welcome. Nor would I ever, because oh my god, that sounds so good. I wouldn't touch that with it. What? Who does that? Crazy people, that too. And if you're one of them, I'm sorry. I call it like I see it. And mayonnaise plus fruit, crazy person. No, cream, fruit and cream. Okay, we made oatmeal fluff, and for a dessert as well. We also had a chocolate silk pie. We had Hawaiian dinner rolls. We did have Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits we were also going to make, but we all forgot to make them. And so we will have them another time. They're here for us to make a different day. So that was the ghost. That was kind of the ghost food menu item, was the Cheddar Bay biscuits that were meant to be there, but were not. Oops. What else was there? Homemade stuffing. I'm trying to go through my brain inventory and see. I think that was it. Yeah, the homemade stuffing and gravy, mashed potatoes and gravy, sweet potato casserole, Kahlua infused sweet potatoes, corn casserole, green bean casserole. The thing we forgot, Leah pointed out, and it's true, facts. Let me get comfortable in my chair. Sorry. She's right. I can't fault her for it. Oops, sorry, I bonked the table, but she's right. We forgot, and this is like a cardinal Thanksgiving sin. Right? Prepare yourselves. Buckle in, friends. If you're not sitting down, sit down, because I'm about to blow your mind with, because who would forget this imperative Thanksgiving dinner side dish? If you haven't already guessed what it is, well, first, if you've made it this far, congratulations. But can you guess, after I've listed everything and I've shown pictures on Facebook and stuff, what our spread was and whatnot, what was missing? what mandatory, like traditional, historic, like popular Thanksgiving side dish was missing from that spread and that list? I'll give you a minute. Pause the video. Go leave a comment down below. What side dish do you think we forgot? It's very obvious. It's very common. It's not a weirdo side dish that like nobody would, oh, I couldn't have possibly guessed that. Nobody, what the heck is that? It's not. No, this is like an in your face. It's like a mandatory side dish for every holiday meal. If you need a hint, I'll give you a hint. It's often creamy. It can the contents, the ingredients can come in different shapes, sometimes in elbows, sometimes in spirals, sometimes in shells. Did I give it away yet? Yes, we forgot the mac and cheese. We forgot the macaroni and cheese. Like, what a fail sauce moment. Leah picked up on it real quick and she was like, excuse me, where's the macaroni and cheese? And I was like, oh no. We had actually, oh, I just got putty on my canvas. We had actual, let's see if I can get it off. We had actually, when we were at the store, we were going to like phone it in and be cheaper because we were making so many casseroles and side dishes and stuff that I was like, where we can cut corners and make it easy, let's. And we were at Aldi's, I think, and we had seen Stouffer's, a party size of Stouffer's macaroni and cheese, and it was party size and whatever. It was, but it didn't seem very party size. It seemed pretty weak for party size. But oh, sorry if you can hear my stomach, it's because I'm hungry. But I get punished every time I eat now, so not punished like in real life, but punished by my body. It just, eating does not turn out well for me in the end, if you catch my drift. Okay, so anyway, we're going to ignore my stomach and we're going to continue talking about mac and cheese. So we had seen a Stouffer's party thing of mac and cheese. We were already at the store. We were picking up ingredients and I said, hey, let's just do it. But upon like picking up the little container, we realized it was like really thin. It was kind of big, like a big, but it was real thin, and like the contents was not worth the price. And so we were like, oh, well, we'll just make a couple batches of it homemade at home. Not a big deal. We got a slow cooker and Instapot and all that stuff. We'll take care of it. And then forgot to pick up the ingredients to make it. And didn't even realize it until Leah pointed it out. She pointed out our Thanksgiving sin of forgetting to provide macaroni and cheese, which I think she was probably the most looking forward to. Oops. My bad. So, yeah, you guys, if you guessed macaroni and cheese was the traditional missing side dish to our Thanksgiving dinner, golf clap, props to you, bragging rights. If you're on the creep mail list, maybe I'll send you a gold star. You did it. You figured out the mystery. We messed up. But it didn't ruin the holiday. We just kind of, I don't know, kneecapped it a little bit. We bruised it a little bit with that missing integral side dish. And so we had that family dinner, and then we played some family games. We were up way too late playing different family games, having a good time, and spending time with the kids all together, and taking food over to mom down and dad down, and making sure they had a nice Thanksgiving dinner, and just family. We were family-ing. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Family-ing. And just enjoying each other's company. And so then the kids left on Thanksgiving Day. They needed to go. And we were doing the whole cleaning up after everyone had been here. And we had all had our fun and kind of got, lackadaisical, because who wants to do house chores while you have house guests that you hardly get to see throughout the course of the year, and stuff. So we were cleaning up, and that's what we did that night. And then it leads us to Black Friday, which was yesterday, when well, where do we even start? It started off pretty benign. Leah had to work, so she got up and got ready and took Char to oh, I'm saying the words with the little fluffy person who recognizes that word and gets excited. My bad. Sorry. You're gonna have to bear with me. We have to talk in code when she's around, because if she hears her favorite word again, she might explode. So, Leah took the fuzz butt to the place where Leah earns money. To the place where she's obligated to show up on a schedule and earn money. And they went and everything was fine. And while they were doing that, Sundown and I went into town getting the final last things to get the coops ready for the winter, because we're expecting, matter of fact, this morning I got a notification that we had some sleet in the area. But between sometime, I don't know, it's confusing. First they said it was going to be today, then they said Monday. Now it's like it kind of changes hour by hour. But sometime between now and Monday, temperatures are going to be below freezing or at freezing, and we're getting lots of rain, which is at freezing ice, for those of you who are not sciencey. And then more freezing. So there's going to be lots of ice and rain and sleet and black ice, and could be an ice storm. So we were procuring a generator. I mean, always good to have when you live out in the country in an area that often has freezy weather, icy storms, take out power lines and things of that nature, blizzards and whatnot. So we're procuring, generator and generator stuff, and the rest of what we needed to finish winterizing the coops, because they're mostly done, but there were still a few final touches we needed, and bird feed, and we were checking on the flea market, and we were putting up our Black Friday sale signs, and everything, we were running around town, running errands. Leah and Fluff Bucket. I was going to say Nugget, but Bucket came out. Fluff Bucket had gone to the place that they needed to go to earn a living, and everything was going well. We finished up at the flea market. We stopped down the street at it was a location of our favorite coffee place. Like, it's a coffee shack, but there's multiple around town. It's called Shadrack's, and this particular location we never go to for whatever reason. It's just like we're never over there to go to it. But this time we were, and so I was just like, coffee, please, coffee, I'm so tired, and I don't, I need coffee. And so we stopped and got coffee and what they call Shaddy Pops, which is basically like Italian sodas. And, slurp while we're finishing up around town. And not too long after the slurping of the coffee and soda began, a sloppy, well, that too, but a slurpy sloppy situation began in another way, which I'll leave you to, you'll figure it out. I'm not going to say it, but it's common knowledge what can happen. But let's just say the coffee started going through us in an unpleasant way. When somebody says something runs right through them, that situation started occurring. And we're, oh boy. Well, thankfully we're heading home. And where we have facilities at our disposal and comfort, and we're going home. So we wrapped everything up. We were heading home, and it's a mad dash to get home. We were not home very long when all of a sudden, no, were we even home yet? Yeah, we had just gotten home. And we were starting to feel hinky, but not indisposed yet, if you know what I mean. So we're kind of like, not feeling so hot, but let's keep plugging away. We're working on stuff. We're fine. And Sundown starts working on finishing up the coops and, getting that done for this winter weather that's blowing in today. And we get a text from Leah, who is at, like I mentioned, who is at the place of employment with Fuzznut. Fuzznut? No, she's not a Fuzznut. Fuzzbucket, not a Fuzzbucket. Fuzzball. Fuzz, the fur creature. Words are really getting hard right now, so we're going to be done soon. But the fuzzy one, the fuzzy child, and says, oh no, Fluff Butt just became a vommy mommy. She frued up. Oh boy. Well, maybe she drank too much water too fast, or was playing, or, yeah, maybe it was just, a fluke. Okay. Maybe. Uh-oh. These texts are coming in rapid fire. Uh-oh. There's number 2. We have Vommy Mommy instance number 2. And I'm like, oh no, here we go. And then she was like, yeah, so far she is, upchucked, if you will, twice. Nope, make that 3. And this is all like in text. She's texting, it's happened twice. Never mind, it's 3. And I'm like, no. And I'm like, what's going on? Is she okay? We're trying to figure this out, and we're exchanging texts. And then she's like, make that 4. And I'm like, what is happening to the dog? And she's like, okay, well, we're putting her in a suite and giving her a Pepsid to help calm her stomach. And, make that 5. And I'm like, oh my gosh, 5 times in an hour, in less than an hour. Like pretty much back to back to back to back to back. This puppy had a vomit problem. For an unknown reason. She didn't get into anything she wasn't supposed to. She didn't eat anything she wasn't supposed to. There was no injury. There was literally no explanation. And the place that daughter works, where she takes Fuzz Nugget with her, is a dog boarding and grooming and daycare facility. So they work with dogs all the time. They know animals, they know dogs and stuff like that. So when they say she didn't get into anything and they can't figure out a cause, I believe them, because this is what they do all day, every day. This is their job, is to house, care for, protect, cleanse, and otherwise care for people's fuzz nuggets. This is what they have built their business on. If they were no good at it, they would not be in business. You see what I'm saying? So, they put her in a private suite, gave her a Pepsid. She did vomited again. And so then it got to the point, can you guys come and get her? And and take her to the vet. And we had just gotten home. Sundown literally had just started working on the last stuff he needed to do on the coops. He needed a couple hours, and I'm like, oh no. And we were starting to not feel good at home. And so I was like, we can come get her if we need to and stuff. And she said, well, call her vet, see if you can get her in. There's number. We call the vet, and the vet says, well, shucky ducky, darn the luck. Darn your luck, because as your luck would have it, ma'am, the vet is actually went out of town, left today, is gonna be gone. We have no vets here right now. We're actually closing early. Normally we don't close until 4:30. We're actually closed at 3, which was about what time I was calling. She's like, we're closing at 3 because we have no doctors here. And I'm like, oh. And she's like, and we're going to be closed tomorrow too, because again, Everybody's on vacation. No doctors here. And I'm like, okay, I understand that vets need a holiday and break and all that stuff too. But are you serious? Are you freaking serious? This is like holidays and stuff are the times when I would imagine that animals more frequently find themselves in emergent situations, whether they get a hold of a turkey leg or some kind of bone or bad food, human food that's not good for them, or they get injured by the children running around and many people, and whatever the case may be. Like, why would you make your veterinary services unavailable? What is wrong with you? So they were like, yeah, the only option you have is emergency vet services, which if anyone has an animal or has had an animal, when you hear emergency vet, your wallet immediately cringes and cries because everything is 2 to 3 times more expensive than a regular, vet visit. All we can do is recommend, refer you to the emergency vet. They're open until something o'clock, but you need to take her there. Sounds like you need to take her there. That's too many vomits in a short period of time. Something is wrong. She needs to be seen, and that's your only option. Oh, isn't that fantastic? So we found ourselves in this situation where daughter is at the place of employment with Fuzzbutt. Fuzzbutt has suddenly been stricken violently ill, and she's at a place she's required and paid to be, and cannot. Could she have left? Of course, you can leave any place you feel like leaving, but paychecks are important too. So she's texting with us, can you guys come and get her? And we're like, we're working on the farm right now, like we're out of time. The weather's blowing in tomorrow. We've only got right now, there's only a little bit of daylight left, and we got to get this done. We find out time is of the essence because that place is closed. Puppy is not getting any better and needs some services. We're already like 30 minutes, a 30-minute drive away from the employment, and it was just a mess. So we were like, yeah, we'll come and get her. And so we dropped everything, did what we could real quick, to the coops, and dropped everything to go pick up Fuzz Nugget and take her. We weren't sure where we were going to take her. Let's find out what's going on when we get there, if she's had any more mommy instances, and if so, we'll take her to the vet. But if she hasn't, if the Pepcid has started working and her stomach has calmed down, we'll just take her home and baby her. So we go there to get her, and she comes barreling out of the suite, and she's scampering around and hopping and bopping and jumping, and like she's fine. Like, hey, yeah, oh my gosh, mom and dad, ooh. Love you, yay, I'm so happy to see you, ooh, hyper dog, ooh. And we're like, okay, totally doesn't look like a sick dog. Not that we didn't, believe what was going on, but like she seems fine now. I'm like, well, we're here, let's just go ahead and we'll take her. So we took her and brought her home and gave her the lecture. Now listen, young lady, if we're going to bring you home sick from school or, from employment, then you're going to, be grounded. No talking on the phone with your friends, no hanging, goofing around, no playing. You're going to rest. You're resting. And we get her home, and she gets herself a little drink and then props herself up on the couch in her favorite spot, and she's chilling. But we notice, and while this is happening, like during this traversing with the dog, Sundown and I start feeling real yucky, like real yucky. Like, oh, we need to put the pedal to the metal and hurry up and get home. We really don't feel good. This is like a time is of the essence, don't feel good situation. So we rush home. Sundown is worse off than me, so I'm like, go forth. We have, we have another bathroom if we need it. So, I'm okay enough. Go forth, young man, and take care of the business at hand. He disappears. I'm with Charlotte in the living room, keeping an eye on her, just like making sure she doesn't vommy mommy and everything's okay and she doesn't get into anything or whatever, basically babysitting. And I notice that she is breathing weird. She's doing some kind of weird breathing exercises, okay? And I caught it on video. It was so unusual to me, and a little bit disturbing. And I could hear a little wheezing and stuff, and I was like, whoa, what's happening? Oh gosh. So I took a video of it for showing Sundown and Leah, but also a vet if we needed to go. And after Sundown had completed his mission, I needed to complete missions of my own. And so we traded, and he was sitting with Char, and I was on a mission. And he caught video. He noticed the same thing, and he caught a video of her funky breathing that was very concerning. And then he said he even tried to thought maybe her harness was digging into her ribs or her abdomen or her chest or something, maybe causing her to breathe a little weird, like, whatever, trying to make her more comfortable. And he went to take her harness off, and she snipped at him. She snippy, snarl, growly at him, and that she does not snap at him. And that was odd. So she's behaving oddly. She's breathing oddly. She had been, having the stomach problems earlier. And so we are like, crap, we should have just went to the emergency vet, but we're trying to save money, and she seemed to be okay when we picked her up and stuff, but by the time we got her home, it was like a little bit less okay. So we're like, oh gosh, what do we do? So we decided to, let's go ahead, at very least it'll give us peace of mind. So we took her to the emergency vet, and we were there for a couple hours getting her checked out and doctored up and whatever. And $1 million later, and 1,000,000 hours later, at least it felt like it, we finally got to come home. And then Sundown, his condition got even worse than it had been. And it was so bad that, because he's like, I need Pepto or something. I need something. This is not going away on its own. I need help in the form of some pink liquid goo or something. So and I'm like, okay, well, I need windshield wiper fluid, preferably the de-icer kind. My fluid's completely out. So we need that. We need gas. I don't feel 100%, but I wouldn't mind a French fry. So why don't we just go into Little Town, that one. Why don't we go to town? And everything we need is right there. We'll get you some Pepto. We'll grab me some fluid from the car store. And then we'll stop, Bebop. It's all packed in right there together. I'm like, we'll stop across the street and get us some French fries. Sound like a plan? Yeah, let's go. Okay. By now it's dark. And Leah is home from her place of employment. I cannot say WORK because the dog knows that word. Matter of fact, spelling it probably was a bad idea too. She's figured that out as well. But anyway, Leah came home, and as soon as she came home, we were like, sorry, but we've got to go into town, pick up some provisions. We're not doing so hot ourselves. So here is your sick dog. Here's what the doctor said and the bill and all that stuff. You deal with this. We are going to go into town that's about 10 miles away and procure the rest of the necessities and the new necessities that have cropped up that we need. We're going to go take care of that. And we will be back. Folks, we made it off the dirt road. Kudos to us for that. We made it off out of our dirt driveway, our dirt rock driveway, whatever, off the dirt road and onto the actual highway. But we did not, or, paved road, I should say. But we didn't actually make it to the highway. We got like, maybe we got a couple miles down the road when all of a sudden it's like, Ruh-roh, Scooby, pull the car over. There's an emergency. So we had to pull the car over. Bad things happened. Bad as in sickness things happened. And then we got back in the car and said, nope, no, we can't do it. We can't make it. We can't even make it to the road, to the main road. And I'm like, this day sucks. This sucks. And for me, I think it was the coffee. The coffee, I don't know if they put something in it, did something wrong. Maybe the machines were dirty. I don't know. But I am afraid. The only thing that was a common denominator was the coffee shop. For like me and Sundown, that was the common denominator. I'm pretty sure it was the coffee shop. Sorry, Shaddies, but yeah, your location on Nettleton did us dirty. I'm sorry. So we had to turn around and come back home. But we were still in the position of, well, we need de-icing windshield washer fluid. I'm completely out of any windshield washing fluid at all in my car. We're getting rain and ice tomorrow. We're not feeling good, and we're out of, the pink liquid stuff or anything like it in our home to help with the situation at hand, with the situations at hand. And we cannot stomach any more leftovers. We need I just want something like French fries, And I'm like, so something has to be done. And I am not supposed to drive in the dark. I have night blindness due to a medication that I had an adverse reaction to, and it pretty much destroyed my ability to see in the dark very well. And so I'm not supposed to drive it in the dark at night because night blindness. But Sundown was in dire straits. Like he was on the verge of non-functional. And literally, we thought we were going to have to like move him into the bathroom. Like that was going to be his new permanent residence. And, sorry, Sundown. And Leah needed to take care of her dog because, her dog's like asking to go out quite a bit, and she needed supervised because she had been sick and at the vet and all this stuff. So she couldn't really go. So who did that leave? Me go. So I popped my butt back in the car and I drove, just gripping the steering wheel, squinting my eyes and saying all kinds of words and prayers and things of that nature because I couldn't see beyond the light of the headlights. Anything beyond the light of the headlights was pitch black. I could have been driving in outer space for all I knew. Couldn't see anything. And anytime any lights like headlights or tail lights or street lights would completely blind me, so then everything would be white and blinding, and I would have trouble seeing anything. So I couldn't see anything in the dark, and I couldn't really see a lot in the light when it had been so dark and a light hit my eyes. And I gotta be honest, probably not the most safe of driving situations, but what choice did I have? We were all sick and we needed help, you know what I mean? So I made it to town and ran in, and I got, every color of the kind of types of medicines that we needed. We got the pink stuff. We got the like greenish blue stuff. We got what was the other color? I don't know. We got kaopectate. We got Pepto-Bismol. We got Imodium AD. Like I just took the shelf and just put it all in the basket. Give me one of everything. I don't know what everybody wants and needs. All I know is that everybody's stomachs are messed up and we need help. So I get $1 million worth of dollar store medication. I just went ahead and grabbed the windshield washer fluid from the dollar store, like the super cheapest, most generic crap they have. They didn't have any de-icing kind, but I didn't want to make an extra stop at the car store, the O'Reilly's or whatever. So extra stop means extra time, means, you know, people are suffering without the stuff they need. So I just went ahead and got that while I was at the dollar store and just said, well, we're gonna have to deal with the cheap stuff. That's fine. And I got some these powder packets that you put in water to flavor water, but they had some that was specifically, words are hard, specifically made for hydration, because I knew we were getting dehydrated, specifically, like mostly Sundown, but I knew we were getting dehydrated and that was going to be important. And I know he hates the taste of plain water. So I got him some hydration flavor packs that had 7 different electrolytes in it. And I got him some of that to drink in hopes that I can get him to drink some water. And what else? So is that all I got? I think that was about, oh, and I got myself a little $1.25 little baggie of mini Snickers. Sue me. Okay, that was my tax for going. Okay, whatever. And I think that was like all I got from there, wasn't it? I think so. Then I saw peas. Here we go, pea. So then I bebopped across the street to McDonald's. Shout out to Harrisburg, Arkansas McDonald's. Hey girl, hey. They helped me out over there. Got my little app deal. Got like 20% off my order. By the time I got to McDonald's, sundown was like, I still am in dire straits. I'm really, you know, not feeling, my stomach feels fine. Other things don't feel fine. But like, I need something in my stomach. Like, I need to eat something. And I'm like, okay. He's like, you know, grab me a burger. Okay. So he wanted burger and fries. Leah wanted a sweet tea and some French fries. She had already eaten some leftovers for dinner, so she wasn't like hungry. She just wanted some French fries. And I saw the McRib was back. And I was like, I know I don't feel good, and I know I'm not supposed to eat this kind of stuff, but guess what? McRib me, baby. Yeah, if you didn't know, the McRib's back at McDonald's, and I don't know what they did, but it was different this year. So it was like I used to remember it. It was big, and it was big. The last, I don't know, couple times they brought it back, it's been smaller and smaller and smaller. This was a big honkin' thick, juicy McRib. The sauce was different. It was fantastic. Yay, McRib. So I got myself a McRib. And as I'm pulling away, this McDonald's is like attached to a gas station. And so I'm pulling away and I'm seeing the gas pumps, and it made me look at my gas gauge, and I'm like, oh look, I'm out of gas. And I live out in the country, and it's supposed to get really cold, and I grew up being told never let your gas tank go below half when the temperatures go below freezing. And I knew it was supposed to get below freezing. But I had hot food, sick people, and I'm driving in the dark, and I'm highly stressed out and just wanting to go back home. And I don't feel good, like 100% myself. So I was like, my car is like a hybrid. It's a hybrid, but it also has an electric. So I have a little plug-in too. So it's like an electric hybrid. And when I plug it in and charge it, I can get up to 20 miles of driving gas free. And I was like, you know what? I know that I'm on fumes here, but if I can make it home, I could plug in my car, charge it up, and 20 miles will get us into town. And it might get us most of the way, if not all the way to town. So either way, it'll be fine. I just need to get home, and I'm not going to make our food get cold while I pump gas. So, yeah, hopped back on the road, couldn't see jack diddly. Had a semi truck behind me who was not happy with me because I was driving so slow and slow and maybe admittedly a little weavy because I was struggling to see in the dark in the road and stuff. But yeah, made it home. Went home, made it home. Pissed off a truck driver. Sorry, guy, if you're out there. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, that was me, and I apologize. You know. Got home, got everybody fed and medicated and hydrated, and by then it was 11 p.m. and I was exhausted. So, my friends, now we're here this morning. This is Saturday morning. You'll probably get this video Saturday afternoon. And let me ask you, much like the missing side dish, did you hear anything from this past week or so, week and a half or so? Did you hear anything that was missing from all of that? All these activities and, holiday and family visit and stuff like that. What thing are we missing from the equation? I'll give you a hint. It's one of the reasons you're here. It's something I'm doing right now. If you guessed diamond painting, you're right. I have not had much of a chance to do any diamond painting for, I feel like all month. I mean, I did get some things done. You'll see it in a video. I'm going to, do a November in review and show you guys what, maybe show you guys what I'm going to be working on in December. But, I'll tell you what, I'm still working on a canvas that I had hoped to have done well before today. And I'm barely, am I halfway? Maybe. We'll call it halfway, but it's the lighter side of halfway. So, yeah, I haven't been able to really diamond paint. I was really, really sick. And so diamond painting was like in little spurts. 30 minutes here, half hour there for a couple weeks at the beginning of the month. And then we had our trip and I was exhausted from that. So there was like no diamond painting there. And then getting ready for the holiday and actually spending time and being present with my family and stuff. There was very little diamond painting there. When I did diamond paint, it was usually after 11 p.m. when most people were going to bed, if not everyone. And I would stay up until 3, 4, 5 a.m. just to get some diamond painting done. I'm squeezing it in when I can, is the moral of that story, but it's not nearly as much time as I normally have to diamond paint. So that has been lacking and suffering, as well as the content, because I mean, I'm not going to turn on the camera and be like, hey, look at this exact same section you guys saw 3 weeks ago in the exact same progress, because I haven't been diamond painting. But here, look look at my no progress. You like it? So yeah, I'm really feeling behind in my personal goals for the whole diamond painty thing. I've got Christmas premieres coming up that I need to submit my video for in about 2 weeks, and I haven't even started it yet, or its canvas. In fact, I don't even have my Christmas nails on yet. So I feel a little time crunch from that. Of course, the tubus of ubis. The powers that be are like, hey, poke, poke, poke. You better get some content up. Poke, poke, poke. Hey, we did do a spilling the tea. That's on Crafty-ish Christian. Come on now. Crafty-ish Kristen's channel. There you go. It is in my playlists too. I did swipe it from her and put it in my playlist as well. But this past week I did do a live. We did get on live a little bit. So you got that. And I think I did a couple of haul videos fairly recently in the last week and a half. And the Spilling the Tea over on Crafty-ish Kristen's channel, where we talk about our Pink and Black 2026 event and all the things that go along with that. And so, I mean, it's, you know, I put up a short yesterday. Content's not like disappeared entirely, but it's not my normal stuff. It's not what you should be expecting, and it's not what I wanted, but it's there. I had intended to put some serious time into the Figure It Out Friday mystery canvas. I haven't gotten a chance to touch it. I wanted this to be done. As you can see, I'm barely halfway. I needed to be started by, at this point, I had planned on being started, if not most of the way, at least halfway or most of the way through the first December canvas, and also to have some, if not all, of my Christmas premiere filmed and out of the way, so I don't have to worry about it by now. Nope, haven't even started that. Yeah, life has just been kicking me in the pants, and not in good places in the pants, in the bad places in the pants. And I can't get out from under it. So I just have to, there's nothing else you can do but ride the wave, you know what I'm saying? And do the best you can. I'm hanging on by a thread. But I got a pretty good grip on that thread, so I'm just gonna be like Tarzan, whee, dangling around on my little vine, my thread. And whatever happens, happens. I mean, it is what it is. You know, if you don't get a video, you don't get. I feel bad to the tier 2 members and tier 3 who are supposed to get early access, and you guys have barely gotten anything like that, resembling early access all month long, because I have just been in life's little hellhole. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. So yeah, it's been very unpleasant life right lately. It's not been very nice. So I apologize to you guys for that. I'm trying to get back on track. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna cut line and start over. So if I can't get caught up in the things I want to get caught up in, then we'll cut the line and start fresh and move forward. But that was my holiday and my month, kind of my month, but that was the stuff leading up to the holidays. I sincerely hope everybody else had a wonderful holiday and did not have to deal with, you know, anything they didn't want to deal with, anything negatory. I hope it was all smooth and pleasant and enjoyable and filled with, you know, love, laughter, you know, whatever you wanted it to be, whatever you needed it to be. I hope that's what it was for you. And yeah, better luck for us. Better luck next year. Like, that's all I can say. I mean, there's nothing you can do to change it. It is what it is. It's happening. It's happened, and it's happening, and it's gonna, you know, life's gonna life. So I just better luck next year. And yeah. So if anyone's wondering how the holidays went at Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting and family, that is there you have it, my friends. That is it. I don't think I really missed anything. I think that was everything, and I think it was probably too much, so we're gonna go now. Okay, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, please do like the video on your way out. Subscribe. What are you doing with your life? Subscribe. Come back and see me. Get that notification bell tickled so that you know when a new video releases. And with that, we're done here. All right, till next time. Stay naughty. Bye.